Dun, dun, dun. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the DNA Crow special stream. Dun. He who shall not be named. Welcome to the DNA Crow special stream. Yeah. Yes, he who shall not be named. The death of a channel stream. We understand that as of right now, the Dark Lord is threatening the wizarding world of YouTube and basically every social media platform. If you say his name, you will be banned. Those are the rules. Yes.
Surprisingly, not every platform, the one platform being Twitter,
yes,
surprisingly is the one not banning people.
This episode of the DNA Crows is brought to you by the letter F. Yes, it is Marianic. F's in the chat for the channel. Let's see if we can do this. Today's stream, we will be exposing Mr. Eric Chamomile Tea and just going over all the terrible, horrible things that are being covered up here. There's a lot of censorship, and it looks completely coordinated. We have a lot of information to go over with you guys today, but we cannot say this man's name no matter what. So do not even try to get us to say his name. You ready,
Voldemort.
Dean? No, actually, it's okay to say Voldemort. Voldemort. Beetlejuice. Eric Chad, don't say it. Don't say it 3 times. Don't say it twice. Don't say it once. Yes, you can even say Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself. You cannot say this man's name, though. Anyways, let's go into it. And again, it doesn't matter what your thoughts are on the president. You could think he's an absolute jackass, a moron, a pig. You could even think the man is a fascist. I do not care. What is going on here is absolutely disgusting. And I'm going to start. Let's go over the one that Dean actually pulled up, the Wikipedia censorship, which I know is a little bit on the smaller side. It's just, you can kind of see where people are right now.
Well, let's give a little bit of context on who this person is.
He's the Dark Lord.
Censorship?
He's the Dark Lord. He's the Dark Lord blowing his whistle to Adam Schiff.
Yes. But there's some context behind it. Do you want to...
Yes, so what is going on right now is an impeachment proceeding that started with this whistleblower blowing the whistle and claiming that he had information that the President of the United States was engaged in a quid pro quo in order to target his political rival, which would be Joe Biden. This is the story that you will hear from the mainstream media. They say that his name does not matter. Any type of partisan bias he has does not matter. That this is indeed a patriot, and he is exposing corruption within the government. Here is the problem, though. According to Trump and the administration and everything, what they were doing in Ukraine was attempting to expose corruption on behalf of the Ukrainian government, in which they targeted him and sought to promote Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, what I'm going to show you on the screen here is something that I think y'all will find pretty funny. This is an article from Politico, all right? In this article, you will see that they claim that Trump's and Giuliani's suspicion of Ukraine is completely without merit and that there is no evidence. But at the same time, we have the article from Politico in which they say that they ran an investigation into into these claims and found that the Ukrainians did interfere in the election by feeding intel to a DNC consultant that was negative to Trump and positive for Hillary Clinton. There was a lot of things that this article covered, and if you want to, you can still look it up. Politico still stands by this reporting from January 11, 2017. Ukrainian efforts to sabotage Trump backfire. Kiev officials are scrambling to make amends with the president-elect after quietly working to boost Clinton. Ukrainian government officials tried to help Hillary Clinton and undermine Trump by publicly questioning his fitness for office. They also disseminated documents implicating a top Trump aide in corruption and suggested they were investigating the matter only to back away after the election and they helped Clinton's allies research damaging information on Trump and his advisors, a Politico investigation found. Now you see this article. This was posted, I believe, today or just a couple days ago from Politico. According to Giuliani, Ukrainian officials conspired with the Clinton campaign and the DNC to help boost the Democratic nominee's campaign and damage Trump's candidacy. No evidence has emerged to support that idea. You have Politico posting evidence from 2017, and in 2019, Politico saying there is no evidence. And also Politico stating they stand by the reporting from 2017. That is insane. You have the exact same outlet contradicting their own reporting while at the same time standing by their own reporting. You cannot have these two thoughts simultaneously exist in your head. That there is no evidence to support that idea, while at the same time there is evidence to support that idea. And this is very important because they are stating that the entire idea of there ever being corruption from Ukraine in 2016 is false, that it is a conspiracy theory, that there is no evidence that exists, and therefore the whistleblower coming forward is correct, and that the only reason why any of this is happening is because Trump is trying to damage a political rival by using his power as the president. Just based on this alone, that doesn't make any sense. What do you say, Dean?
Well, that is quite a lengthy context or backstory. But what I find more interesting is that you now have these big tech platforms saying you can't even mention this whistleblower's name. Granted, it is in the public's interest, but if you say it, you'll be banned. Your videos will get taken down. That's wild.
Now, and here's the thing. You guys might think, oh, well, they're going after the smaller content creators. They always do this. They suppress the content. They throttle it. No, look, they just locked a Fox News video into private. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Fox News, but they're mainstream media. And one of their contributors came on and said the man's name. And as soon as that video hit YouTube, an algorithm came in and forced the video into private. Didn't delete it, didn't remove it. They forced the video into private. And to me, that's even more egregious because they're trying to make it look like those studios, they're the ones who are going out and taking their own content down. Those content creators are taking down their own content. That is not true at all.
But it's not just Fox News. Tim Pool was also put into the same situation.
Yes, Tim Pool has had his videos taken down, forced into private mode, and was also suspended from Facebook for saying the person's name. And when they suspended him from Facebook, they said it was under the pretense of him committing or promoting criminal behavior, which is just the most ridiculous thing of horseshit I've ever heard. But since we're on the YouTube platform...
Wait, let me just touch up on that. By them saying that, essentially they are saying journalism can be a crime. Or it can, I mean, anything can lead to criminal behavior. But essentially they're saying that journalism is a crime depending on what you decide to report on.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing is, just to be very clear, there is no criminal, there is no law that states a whistleblower is entitled to privacy and anonymity. There is none. The law states that the whistleblower cannot be retaliated against. You cannot fire a whistleblower for coming forward. You cannot persecute a whistleblower for coming forward. There is absolutely no law in this country, none, period, whatsoever, that would allow a person to come forward, accuse somebody of a crime, and remain anonymous. In fact, it is a fundamental right we have.
Goes against
the right
against it.
Yeah, the right to face your accuser.
Yes. But that's all really interesting. Now we get to we know Facebook and YouTube are doing bans of the name being mentioned. We'll just call him Eric Cartman, Eric Charizard.
I like Eric Cartman because you just gotta respect this little dweeb's authority, right? He gets to imagine that though. Imagine that you work for the CIA, right? You work in the intel community. You come up with a completely just bogus claim against somebody, and nobody can question you. Nobody can confront you. Nobody. You can remain completely anonymous. And not only will you remain anonymous, mainstream media will not say your name. Tech giants are censoring your name. And this is this is legit crazy when you think about it, right? Imagine they did this to the president. What would stop them from doing it to anybody else? They're doing this to the president in the public spotlight. What would stop them from doing it to anybody else that they disliked, despised, and just did not want to deal with?
Yes, and so now that we know Facebook and YouTube are doing this, that we've given the context, let's go into the, I think the funniest thing of all of this is the Wikipedia censorship.
Oh my gosh, yes. The Wikipedia shit is absolutely hilarious. We got 4 screenshots. I can't remember who this one's from, though. Was this from Breitbart that reported this?
I believe so. I can double check. I do believe it was Breitbart. The reason why we have screenshots and we're not actually looking into the article, guys, is because we're not even allowed to show this person's name. And therefore, we had to take screenshots and edit the person's name.
Now, and I want to be very clear. Legitimately, everybody knows who this person is. The reason why they are censoring his name and why they're trying to just shut down any conversation on the person's name is because then you're not obligated to report on his history. You're not obligated to report on any type of bias this person has. You can just continue to say his name has no context and he is protected. That is absolute bullshit. Now, so reading through the Wikipedia stuff. Prior to Trump Jr. sharing Charizard's name, editors also attempted to add him to the whistleblower page, but those edits were labeled vandalism and removed. Editors also attempted to draft a page on Charizard, noting him as the alleged whistleblower. The drafts were deleted as attack pages, even when previews suggest the page was neutral. Administrator Drummies, aka Michael Eich, I have no clue if I'm saying his name right, used his privileges to block editors from recreating the Charizard page. When editor Wumbolo challenged these actions, he was banned and administrators created a filter to prevent anyone from even mentioning the alleged whistleblower's name. How's that sound?
Sure sounds like censorship.
Right? I mean, I have no clue why they're protecting little Eric Charmander. I have no clue. It seems very contradictory to Wikipedia's main goal of documenting information and spreading it. But we've seen the Wikipedia admins come in with their own bias, and honestly, like at the end of the day, there's really not much that can be done here because these authoritarian little weirdos have weaseled their way in just about every single tech platform. And they've taken positions of power, and as you just saw, they'll ban anybody who comes in and refutes what they're saying. Anyways,
yes. Well, I just want to take a small break to promote something real quick.
What are we promoting?
Our Patreon.
Yes, we have a Patreon now, guys. Since we're so gung-ho on trying to get ourselves banned, you can continue to support the DNA Crows. We are moving on to other platforms. We have a Minds account. We have BitChute. We have Dailymotion. You'll see our stuff up on other platforms because YouTube is cracking the whip so hard on us. And if you want to help us out with the channel, the one thing you can do is go onto our Patreon. Dean will post the link in the chat right now. Go there, donate $1, become a sponsor for the channel, and we'll go ahead and mention you in all our videos, all of our streams moving forward. It's a great way of helping us out and staying active with us. You're not obligated to do it. We'll still be promoting our content the same way we always have. But it does really help us. It helps us out by allowing us to get better recording equipment, helps us out by allowing Dean to get some better software to do the edits with us, so we can promote the regular content we do, and also so that we can continue to do the giveaways. We've already given away a copy of Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield. Those are paid for. They're ready for pickup on release date, and they'll be going over to Sky Hime and Super Saiyan Aerok. And we really appreciate them helping us out with the channel.
Yeah, and the link is now posted into the chat. But we always understand if you can't, even if you don't want to. What also helps us is just watching our content, giving us likes, sharing it. Every little bit helps. Don't ever think that doing one of those things doesn't help, because it really does. It's how we grow. And so whatever you can do, we greatly appreciate it, and we appreciate your continued support.
Yeah, honestly, it's really awesome. We're really glad that a lot of you have continued to tune in for our streams and watch our videos regularly. I know I'm missing a ton of people, but Kyle Jordan Gaming, Marionic Vampire, you dudes come in just about every
Mike
single
Walters.
stream. Mike Walters,
Lady Titania.
Corono shows up. Yeah, all of you guys have been just great, and we really appreciate you tuning in. And anything you want to say to us, we always have our DMs open. We have an official Twitter profile now just for the channel, so you don't have to just follow all the stuff I'm constantly tweeting out.
Yeah.
But anyways, we will probably mention we will probably be mentioning the Patreon as we move forward. But let's go ahead and jump back into things. Sound good, Dean?
Yes. Sorry, I just wanted to take a quick break before we completely forgot to mention it.
Why? Shameless self-promotions. Come on, man. That's the way of the game now.
Is shameless. But so let's go ahead and show the other screenshots from this article talking about the Wikipedia stuff.
Yes.
Because it is what comes up next is hilarious.
Well, they've already banned somebody for trying to tell them no. So
yes, but what they find as reliable sources is funny, considering it's Wikipedia. Also, one of our favorite news outlets, I guess, something that most of us are, a place that most of us are familiar with, gets mentioned as reliable to Wikipedia.
Yes, so let's move forward to the next part. Left-wing editors argued against including Charizard's name over a lack of reliable sources mentioning it. Sources such as Real Clear Investigations and others were cited, but editors often dismiss conservative sources as unreliable on Wikipedia. During discussions about mentioning the alleged whistleblower's identity, editors argued Washington Examiner was not a reliable source when an editor noted the outlet repeatedly mentioned Charizard, the Pokemon. Charizard the Pokemon, not Charizard the whistleblower. One argument cited a policy suggesting if a name is not widely disseminated or has been intentionally concealed, it is preferable to exclude it. Editors interpret such dissemination as needing to be in reliable sources as well. So, how's that sound, Dean?
That's sounds terrible so far.
So, just to be clear, Wikipedia, which cannot be trusted as a reliable source in the first place, is stating that any conservative outlet is basically unreliable. They're not looking into the sourcing for those outlets, because remember, those conservative outlets may have said the name, but their source is the New York Times and members of the Intelligence Committee who have come forward and said, what the New York Times has said only really fits this one individual. So they don't care about the sourcing. It's basically, where do you fall on the political spectrum? If you fall on the right, get the hell off our platform. If you say anything against us, we're going to ban you from the platform. You have absolutely no say here. The only sources they trust, well, apparently not even the New York Times, because let's keep going. Let's just keep having fun with you guys and just keep going into Wikipedia. We got 2 more screenshots to go over. However, sources considered reliable on Wikipedia, the Dallas Morning News and Ukrainian state-owned UNIAN also reported the alleged whistleblower's name. That is so strange.
Dallas Morning News.
The Dallas Morning News. One of the Dallas Morning News?
One of our favorite journalists works for Dallas Morning News, Sharon Grigsby.
Sharon Grigsby, yes.
Sharon, yeah.
Just remember, it rhymes with Karen, Dean. Sharon and Karen go together. All the Karens in the chat. All right, everybody. But look, they actually consider the Dallas Morning News credible and Ukrainian state-owned media credible. And even though these places have also said his name, they've also said the name Eric Charizard, Eric Charmeleon, Eric Charmander, that still got blocked. Additionally, despite attempts to block creation of a page on Charizard, prior coverage in sources considered reliable on Wikipedia concerning allegations he leaked classified details on Trump meeting with Russian diplomats would, together with coverage of him as the alleged whistleblower, mean he passes the site's notability threshold for an article. So to be clear, even though sources Wikipedia has deemed uncredible, even though sources Wikipedia has deemed credible, even though you have both of these, you have his name being mentioned in the public, Wikipedia has still continued to step in to call any mention of his name uncredible and worthy of being removed and banned from their platform. Good going, Wikipedia. Way to just spit and piss all over your original mission. You guys are just fantastic fucking leeches. Good job. But we got the final page here. So, to be clear, they will ban you if you say anything against their doctrine. They refuse to accept sources that they don't deem politically correct. Not their sources, but just if they're not politically correct, meaning they don't fall on the left side of the spectrum, not going to happen. And even if they have deemed you credible in the past, if they don't like what you're reporting now, that is not welcome on their platform.
Yeah, they go by the saying, what have you done for me lately?
Pretty much. Despite claiming an interest in protecting the whistleblower's identity, editors mentioned the author of the RCI piece who identified Charizard as the alleged whistleblower in order to discredit the offer, making the article identifying Charizard easy to find. So just to be clear, Wikipedia has stated that they will protect the whistleblower's identity, period, but also in order to discredit people mentioning the whistleblower's name as Eric Charizard, they then claim that person to then be the whistleblower, and therefore you cannot believe what they say. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like anybody? Dean, does that make any sense to you?
You know, if I tune it out, if I tune out most of the words you say, yeah. But no, it's wild. It's not even cherry picking information. It's decidedly more effort than cherry picking information.
Oh, 100%. This is ridiculous. This is just stating that, look, if you report something we don't like, we're going to find a reason to get rid of it. And if you in any way have a capacity at Wikipedia as an admin and you do not fall in line, we're just going to ban you. That is authoritarian as all hell. That is insane. And we've seen the Wikipedia thing is just hilarious. Let me just finish up this. Censoring of Charizard's name on Wikipedia comes after similar censorship at Facebook, YouTube. They say Twitter, but Twitter has not been... Twitter is allowing the name to be stated. They just do other things. Like, shadow banning.
Yeah.
As well as repeated efforts to slant Wikipedia's articles on the Ukraine controversy and impeachment inquiry against Trump. Previously, editors censored criticism of Russia's investigation, spun special counsel report to Robert Mueller debunking Russian collusion, etc., etc. It's really hilarious. Mike Walters, It's funny how the progressive left like to call conservatives Nazis, and Hitler would form an ideological perspective. They are the ones who are more akin to Adolf Hitler. Yep. I mean, they claim not to be, but to be clear, the thing that got the Nazi party to be so terrifying was they would show up to events of public speakers, they would stand in the back, and they would shout, and they would, quote-unquote, protest until that speaker left. And if that speaker left, they would consider that a victory.
Kind of sounds like what happens in a lot of college campuses.
Kind of sounds like what happened at UC Berkeley when they tried to use the heckler's veto to shut down conservative speakers.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like, right?
Yeah.
Right?
And let me be clear on that. I think it's like, why not just try to tell people why they shouldn't go to an event like this? Like, because I have no problem with Ann Coulter failing at one of those types of meetings, or what would you call those?
Ann Coulter's a bitch. I really don't care. She is a nasty person. She really is, and she says some objectively, absolutely mentally challenged things, like Tulsi Gabbard is not a congresswoman. She is a senator. Tulsi Gabbard's a congresswoman.
Yeah.
100% she's a congresswoman.
But I'm sorry. I think I derailed us just a little bit.
You did. I really find that woman absolutely vapid in every single way.
And why not just try to show people why they shouldn't be going to these guest speakings instead of just trying to shut it down, silencing people that you disagree with politically, and they'll go so far as to even do it with violence. And I think that's where you draw the comparisons of them being more akin to I get the Nazi party, I guess.
Oh, vapid, yes. But the whole appeasement policy thing shut them down, right? Yeah, appeasement don't work. But no, like, guys, this is insane. So the reason why they do not want this man's name being stated is because as soon as his name becomes public, as soon as mainstream media has to report his name, and eventually they're going to have to, you've had Twitter, Facebook, sorry, not Twitter.
Wait,
Twitter's
do
okay.
they have to? Do they have to? Right, because the side from the Democrats up in Washington is that who it is doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter who he is. He shouldn't have to testify. The point is that somebody said it. It doesn't matter who said it. Somebody said it.
Okay, guys, here
do they have to? I mean, granted, I do think that that the media has an obligation to report on it. However, when you're looking at it from that skewed way of looking at things, is the thought that you even have to report on it there?
Oh, I'll be very clear. Brian Stelter of CNN called the censorship of journalism responsible.
That's my point.
So he called the censorship of journalism by billionaire unelected tech platforms responsible. So at this point, what do you guys think the likelihood of Trump being removed from office via It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because it's completely partisan. The only side, there are no Republicans who are in support of impeachment in Congress. No Republican voted to support it. In fact, you had 2 Democrats vote against it because they're in districts where, moderate policies work, meaning a moderate Democrat is going to come forward. But those same places go for Trump. They may go for Democrats, in terms of their own things, like for their Congress people, they'll vote Democrat. But when it comes to the national election, they're going to go for Trump. They're going to because, socialist policies are not popular, period. As soon as you say his name, you get a fist down below by the Char Cartman Zard gang. That was good. I really hope you like these images. Dean did the did the Pokemon, and Origami, great friend of the channel, did the Dark Lord, who shall not be named. But yeah, no. Look, I think you're 100% correcting. They are going to do everything they can not to say his name. CNN is completely vested in impeachment against Trump. Impeachment is just not going to happen, though, because any senator that actually votes to convict Trump on the GOP side is done. Period. Mitt Romney and a handful of others, you got about 4 to 5 who are complete establishment picks. They do not like anything Trump does. You can call them rhinos. I just think that they're corporate, they're corporate people. They love corporations. They love the money. That's all they care about. They love the little power that they can get. And obviously, when Trump comes in and says things that go against the establishment, they clutch their pearls because they kind of know what that means for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that all aside, this
is a tough one, right? Because you never.
Yeah, well, I just want to go back to the point of. I mean, if you're thinking the way that the media is thinking and the way that the Democrats in Washington are thinking, you don't have to report the name. I mean, they're literally trying everything they can for you to not report the name.
And look how much that's failing. Like they did everything they could. Fox News is a conservative outlet. I'm not going to deny that at all. You do have a good mix on their channels, but their opinions are largely right-wing conservative. They came out with a statement from the very top. Do not say the whistleblower's name on our channel. The moment they brought a contributor on, that contributor said, "Nope, we're going to say his name." It doesn't matter what
that
CNN
person
going
seemed
like.
To it was what was it, Molly something?
Molly or Margaret Thatcher. I'm blanking on the name.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher
is the one that we're just making up names for people at this point.
It's something like that. It's Margaret or something. I can't remember.
But she seemed to have had some integrity when it came down to the media's obligation to the people. But I would say that it's not failing, Crow, because it's succeeding so much that you now have these big tech corporations silencing people.
What I said, it's failing. You have to understand, guys. Remember when they were trying to do this whole thing behind closed doors, just selectively drip out information, and then Republicans stormed the skiff and just drew a major spotlight onto everything. What was the Democrats' response? Okay, well, we're going to release all the testimony. They tried to flood people with all of this junk. And if you go through it, their key witness, I believe it was Tim Morrison. There's so much information. You guys really need to look into this stuff yourself. But the key witness that they had been flouting, been saying that this man proves a quid pro quo. His testimony flat out states when he was asked by Zeldman, okay, so where is it? Who told you? Where did you hear that Trump was demanding a quid pro quo, that Trump was demanding the Ukrainian president come forward and dig up and provide dirt on Joe Biden, that this was all about going against Joe Biden, was never about corruption? Well, I think it was the New York Times. Their key witness stated he was getting his intelligence from New York Times reporting. You had Yovanovitch, who is the Ukrainian ambassador who was fired by Trump. This person that they've claimed is just full of integrity. That she was fired due to a smear campaign by all the Trumpsters, by all the evil Trumpsters. Yeah, she's just been implicated in perjury. Dean, have you heard about this story?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no, she's implicated in perjury. So Yovanovitch was contacted by a person working for the DNC a month before the whistleblower came forward. Before this all started. A month beforehand was contacted by the DNC. She stated on the record, under oath, that when she was contacted by this person, she did not respond. She forwarded the communications to the State Department. And she did do this. But then she also used her personal email account to contact that person and say it would be great if they could meet up. She's been implicated in perjury. The ambassador who has been claiming that she was maligned due to a smear campaign has just been implicated in perjury. You have the key witness stating, I don't know who in the community came forward. I don't have any clue. But I think it was the New York Times. The intelligence community is getting their information from the New York Times. There is no first-hand knowledge of anything. Period. There is none. And now you've had one testimony completely fall apart because of it, and the other person is implicated in perjury. Like, my goodness, my goody golly goodness, this whole thing is falling apart. But
I mean, it wasn't very strong to begin with.
No, it's an absolute repeat of Russiagate. It is the exact same thing. It's just Russiagate coming forward again and again and again. It's never going to end. And because guys, we got like about 20 minutes left, so I kind of want to open it up to everybody who's been a part of this. Get your guys' questions. But
wait, you haven't even shown my Cartman.
I showed your Cartman.
Did you?
Yeah. Here, I'll put him back up on the screen because I love your Cartman. I love this guy. I really do. Respect my authority!
You know how hard it was, like, to edit that picture? It looks like a really easy edit, but Cartman's face is so wide that it was hard to cover up his face. I actually had to cut his face in half, erase some of the bottom part, and then reshape it to fit.
Well, Kyle Jordan wants to make sure you get a trophy for the effort. Actually, guys, I want to ask you a question, and I'll go over it with you, because I'm going to flash these all on the screen here. Which is your favorite Photoshop today? We got the Cartman, we've got Dark Lord hanging out with his colleagues.
Well, that's the better job out of all of them.
Actually, I personally, I'd give it to your Cartman. I love Origami's work, but I give it to your Cartman just because I love that quote.
Well, the Cartman kind of looks like old school South Park when they did like celebrities.
Yeah, true. Okay, real quick. So the final words I have on this, right? So you've had a key witness come forward. His entire thing proving quid pro quo is not direct evidence. It's legitimately reading the New York Times stating it. You have another witness come forward and implicate herself in perjury and not disclose that she met with the DNC prior to giving her testimony. That she met with the DNC rep prior to giving her testimony. That is insane. That is legitimately insane, right? And then you have your other three witnesses come forward stating things like, oh my goodness, Trump is undermining our foreign policy. But the president sets our foreign policy. He can't undermine himself. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness, it is legitimately, it's insane to think about this stuff, right, Dean? Like, it's not just me.
no, it's pretty crazy. I don't really know what else to say on it. If you say anything out of line, I mean, you get banned, you get deplatformed, all for a single whistleblower who
has no right to anonymity in the first place.
I mean, and we didn't go too much into this, mostly because I mean I'm more interested in the censorship side of things, but I mean, they're doing this all for a person who definitely has partisan ideals, I guess would be the right word. I mean, the guy worked under the Obama administration.
Well, yeah, okay, so let's just go through his entire
taken. Well, he
history.
was taken out of the Trump administration because they were pretty sure he was leaking stuff to the media.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the guy that they're deplatforming and
okay, so let's just go over this entire thing. Guys, go look up the Ken Vogel political article about Ukrainian corruption from 2017. The person implicated is Alexandra Chalupa, DNC operative.
You can't make up these names. There's been Wombolo, who wears the Mermaid Man belt upside down. There's Chalupa, and then there's chamomile tea.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you this. This is his history. Okay, just so you guys can all see it. I'm gonna flash it up on the screen just a little bit. I want to read through it kind of as I'm going though. So forgive me. But essentially, this person worked with that same DNC operative. He not only worked with her, he had her attend meetings at the White House. So you're looking at the person who's likely responsible for the majority of the leaks that have been coming out of the White House, because he was inviting people into the White House that were completely working against Trump from the start. And you guys got to see it, because this is all true. This is all true information, except for, of course, the person is not, in fact, Dark Lord Eric Valdemella. That would be the one thing that's not true on this. But he was fired from the National Security Council in 2017 for leaks, and then was returned to the CIA. So after proving that he could not be trusted with information that he would leak, the CIA brought him right back. What does that tell you? That's insane. He worked directly under James Clapper. He worked and traveled with Joe Biden. He served in the Obama administration. He worked with John Brennan. I don't care that he's a registered Democrat, but look at all of these names. Look at all of these people, right? And he was previously fired for leaking, and then the CIA brought him right back. That I've never... Can you imagine that? You work for the intelligence community, you leak intelligence, and then the intelligence community says, okay, yeah, come right back. Yeah, we like you. Come right back, Mr. Eric Valdemella.
Yeah, I mean, it was because who he was leaking for. It's all very partisan stuff. But just like this is the guy that Facebook, YouTube, and Wikipedia, for whatever that's worth, are willing to censor you guys for. Like they're all for this guy who isn't trustworthy, who it's frustrating to think about.
It really is, because look, I mean, guys, at the end of the day, I will say this for the record. This person, in spite of all of this bias, in spite of...
Wait, and Kyle is right. And this person also killed Harry Potter's parents.
Yeah, oh my gosh. How do we not have that on the list? Dean, wow. Oof. Man, we definitely messed this up. Kyle, sorry, man. Sorry. You got us.
We buried the lead.
We buried the lead there. Yeah, he did, in fact, kill Mr. Potter's parents. It's a really tragic story. But this is just what kind of a scumbag this man is. But look, the final point I have here, right, is it is entirely possible this person, in spite of all of this bias, in spite of everything he did, in spite of bringing in the person implicated in the original Ukrainian story from Politico, in spite of being fired for leaking against Trump, in spite of everything you know, he could 100% be telling you the truth. He could 100% be doing this because he really does think that some wrongdoing occurred. That is true. That could absolutely be true, guys. But how dare these places then hide all of this? How dare these places not allow people to make an informed decision on what is going on? That is ridiculous. That is authoritarian. That is fascist. That is everything these people scream to be against. And just to be very clear, None of these media outlets actually care about protecting a whistleblower. And you know how we can tell? Because when somebody came out and blew the whistle that ABC News for 3 years buried the Epstein story and allowed an actual child enthusiast to roam free. When this person leaked this information, ABC got CBS to fire somebody who was completely innocent because they thought they were the whistleblower. So you know what, Dean? I can actually see why all of these absolute jackasses completely fear this whistleblower's name becoming public, because they would do that. Because they would retaliate. They would retaliate against anybody who came out against them. So no wonder they don't put it past Trump to do the exact same thing. No wonder they don't believe criminal activity would occur if his name got released to the public, because they would do the exact same thing. You give these people power, it's the very first thing that they would do is go after anybody who would speak against them. It happened under Obama. It did. Look it up. Obama prosecuted more whistleblowers and journalists during his administration than any other president combined. Combined. Think about that. Yeah, maybe they're afraid that President Trump will hire Golgo 13 to take care of the problem. At this point, look, all they're doing is throwing mud in the water. They don't have a hope in 2020. They just don't, because at the end of the day, all of these super progressive weirdo policies, they are not popular with moderates. They're not popular with independents. That's why an independent will vote for a moderate Democrat, but then go full on supporting Trump. Because these progressive policies, they don't work for people, and the majority of people are tuning out of all of this. It's really frustrating, because most of you know this, our dad comes from a monarchy. In the Middle East, they do this to people. In the Middle East, this is how you get rid of people. You have someone make an anonymous accusation, never has to come forward, and then just all these people pile on, and that person gets removed. Not like removed from office, legitimately removed from the public. Speech gets censored. You don't get to speak out against the monarchy. Period. I mean, this is... They talk about how Trump wants to set up a dictatorship and become king of the United States. Guys, for fuck's sakes, if that was true, Trump would have prosecuted journalists the exact same way that Obama did. Or he did maybe at least half of that. At the end of the day, to me, my personal opinion, I like the dude's policies. I think he's a man-child. I really do. He acts like a buffoon at times. He refuses to accept when he's done something wrong. He never apologizes for a clear mistake. But I understand why. I understand why with cancel culture, because you apologize now, that's just admitting guilt. That's all that means. Apologies don't mean anything more than admitting guilt. I can understand it, right? But my goodness, all of this is just completely just a nightmarish hellscape that they're creating. Politics is just completely tribal. There was a time, and I don't like Nancy Pelosi as a person born in San Francisco. I really don't like that woman. I really don't. I think because of her, that city has just turned to absolute shit. And she lives in her little mansion, gates it up, and makes sure nobody can go near her. I really hate this woman. But she came out and she said that they would not do impeachment unless there was bipartisan support. And what happened? You had the exact opposite. You have only partisan support on one side for impeachment, and you have, I know it's a little bit, but you actually have some bipartisan support against impeachment. So what are we doing?
Well, I mean, she's scared of getting pushed out, and she should be. So
what, you're going to destroy, you're going to legit destroy the country? You're going to just destroy every single institution that you have because you're afraid of losing power? Well, that just makes it worse, Dean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, that's her reason.
Yeah, I get it. Impeachment. I think
we're a little off topic.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's constitutional. It absolutely is, but it should not be being used in this way. And you're right. We are off topic because at the end of the day, the big thing here is not so much that they're impeaching the president, because we've known that they were going to do this since 2016 when he was inaugurated, and they said that they would impeach him. We've known this was going to happen the moment they had any type of power, that this was the very first thing that they wanted to do. But if you are going to engage in this level of censorship, when you have all these mainstream outlets coming out, when you have these big tech giants coming out and stating that if you even say his name, we will ban you. We'll ban your Google account. We'll ban you from Facebook. We will accuse you of endorsing criminal behavior. Well, we just entered into actual fascist authoritarianism. You just did that. You just, way to fucking go, CNN. Way to go, Facebook. Way to go, fucking YouTube. Just good job, guys. You absolute failures at life. Now I'm angry now.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's it for the story, but does anybody in the chat have any questions? And while we wait, let's go ahead and plug that Patreon again.
Yes, everybody, plug your questions in the chat. We'll be going over those in just a couple minutes. But again, everybody, please, pretty please, if you could, I'm going to actually go to our Patreon right now. We actually have another YouTube channel, so a lot of things going on for the Crows these days. What do you think, Dean?
What do I think about all the stuff that's going on for the Crows these days?
Yeah,
it's a lot of stuff, like you said. That's what I think.
Yeah, it's so much stuff, everybody. But yes, as you can see, it should be on the screen here in just a second. The DNA Crows do have their own Patreon. If you could, $1 sign up will go ahead and get you as a sponsor on our channel. We really do appreciate it if you could. Our tiers are sponsored for $1. Broly Bros, still get a credit as a sponsor. Join the Discord server that we have, a little special sneaky server. Get a unique rank, and you'll have access to call-ins on these streams moving forward. We do these streams twice a week, Monday and Tuesday. And if you donate $10, you get a credit as a producer. Get all the same privileges of the other ranks, but you'll actually be able to join our Dauntless Guild and legit just play Dauntless with us, hang out with us on voice comms, suggest content for the channel, give us criticism directly. We really do appreciate that, but even just $1 is a huge help for us. And if you can't donate $1, then please, at the very least, stay subscribed to the channel, hit our videos with likes, drop comments. That really helps as well.
Yes. Now, let me be clear, just because you mentioned Dauntless. Anybody can play Dauntless with me, regardless of the Patreon. But if you want to join the guild, that's part of the Patreon thing. I don't want people to think that they have to spend money to get my time. DM me. If anybody ever...
Well, you better spend money to get my time. I'm just kidding, guys. This is legit to join the Dauntless Guild only, and it is to go ahead and join us for. It's not just it's just join the Dauntless Guild, and it's to kind of hang out with us on voice chat with all the members of the DNA Crows, myself, Dean, Origami, and BPM whenever he's available.
Yeah, so it's it's just like some special perks. But if you guys ever want to give me criticism, just DM me.
Yeah, our DMs will always be open. I don't want to make it sound like you have to donate that $10. Legit, that's only if you super uber duper love us and really just want to help us out. Legit, we're only asking for $1 to become a sponsor. That's all we really need.
Yeah,
I think that's good.
Sorry, I'm shocked. Chrono doesn't know what Dauntless is.
What? Dude, Dauntless... Yeah. I'm going to transition back to the other page so I can go back to the YouTube. Sorry for the little switching going on. Yes, Dauntless is an amazing game. It's free to play, just like Monster Hunter, just like Origami's telling you in the chat. What's up, Origami? But yes... Dauntless is a really fun game. It's free to play. It's going to be available on every platform, PC, PS4, Xbox, and it's launching on Switch, I believe, in December, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, we're actually going to be streaming Dauntless content. I'm picking up a capture card in order to do that for you guys, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. We could stream Dauntless and just do these streams and just chat. I think that'd be way more fun. What do you think?
Yes,
Jim?
and then no, I think that would yes, it is crossplay, Corona. No, I think that would be really fun, Crow. But Mike Walters has a really good question. Do you want to go ahead and answer it?
The membership fees are they only a one-time fee or a recurring theme? The $1 be recurring because every single time the $1 will be entered in as a sponsor. The $10 to be entered in as a producer for the month, 100%. But like the Broly Bros rank, as soon as you do that $5 that one time, you have access to the server, and I'm not going to be taking away your rank.
So just to be clear, the dollar for the sponsor is recurring every month.
Yes.
The $10 is reoccurring just because of the certain perks that it gives you, like calling into the show.
Calling into the show, becoming a producer, and everything. But once you have the rank of Broly Bros, we will not be stripping that from you. That's
so $5. The $5 one isn't reoccurring. $10 and $1 is if you want the perks from both of those.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. Now, other questions. Warframe is where it's at. No, it's Dauntless. Dauntless, man. Don't. I suck at Warframe. I'm sorry. I've tried playing it. I'm just terrible. I feel like I'm so far behind in that game. Dauntless, though, is a lot easier for someone to just get into right away. It's super easy. And honestly, I know we have those ranks, but again, just like Dean said, if you want to play with us on Sub Friendship Over, yeah, well, we don't need you. We're the most under-sub channel on all YouTubes. Yeah. But legitimately, if you guys want to play that game with us, and you're kind of, just want to pick it up and you're not too sure, I'll join some hunts with you. I'll run you through some stuff, try to get you geared up. I love doing that. I really love playing Dauntless. Dean has a lot of fun playing Dauntless. Or and BP are always, for the most part, they're always on Dauntless. We really would. I'm the Mad Black Arab. No, Kyle, it's Mad Brown Arab. Man, you're not my friend. You didn't even know I was Mad Brown Arab.
But it's
that's good to know. Considering this is the first time I would be considering sponsoring. Dude, Mike, legitimately, we would really appreciate that. But again, there is absolutely no requirement to do that. We do appreciate you always tuning in with us. Why are they threatening my kids? Why are you threatening my kids? I didn't threaten your kids. I just told them to duck. Fucking NBA is just a riot. Did he come back yet? I know he's coming back.
Kinda. I mean, he did the stream. I'm not sure if he's done any other streams. Yeah, I guess he was talking crap about Sen in a stream or something like that, because Sen then did his stream about him. I think that was last week.
Yeah, my only advice to Sen is just don't even talk about the dude, because he is desperate for the attention. Like, we're such a tiny channel that we're not doing anything for the dude by mentioning his name, but like for Sen, you're giving that dude way too much of a shout out, and he needs it, because that dude is just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But is that it for the questions, guys? I think we're good to go, are we?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning into another stream with the DNA Crows. We'll be live tomorrow. The topic is a mystery. I'm just kidding. The topic tomorrow, we're going to be talking about Pokemon, controversies with video games, some things with Death Stranding. Tomorrow is a stream dedicated completely to video games. So I really hope you join us. It should be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in. Dean, give them the goodbye plug.
All right, guys. Like I always say, the conversation does not end here. Tell us what you have to say. I mean, you already have if you're in the live chat. But if you're watching this after it's been recorded, tell us what you have to say in the comment section. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us out. We also have a Minds account, a Daily Motion account, and a BitChute account. If you want to go check those out, it would greatly help. And consider sharing our content. Consider becoming a Patreon member of ours. All of it. all of it's happening right now. We are growing. We are moving forward.
And just like Hal Jordan said, don't forget to like, sub, and give us money. All right. Thank you again, everybody. We hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.